Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is Drieli and today we are doing a journal with me video. I decided to do something a little bit different than the previous journal with me. The last video I decided to go with a real-time decoration video, and I thought it just was quite slow. So, and I don't know, I didn't felt that you guys got a lot of inspiration from that video. It was just a very, small layout, and it was just one layout that I showed you guys, and it was just such a long video. So I decided to cramp a bunch of layouts together. So I'll be showing you in this video the entire week. The first week of June, so week 23. So I'll be showing you the layouts from June 1st all the way to June 7th. I just thought that way you'd have multiple layouts to look at it, and although I know some of those layouts are not gonna be everybody cups of tea, but I'm sure you can find one of them that might might trigger some type of inspiration and you might like it. So let me know in the comments if you like this type of videos where we can crumble a bunch of different layouts together in a more speed up process video, or if you prefer the real-time process videos with just one or two or maybe three layouts. Just leave a comment down below and let me know. But enough rambling, let me go ahead and explain a little bit of what I'm doing here with this layout. This was a day that I spent most of it in my computer, editing and uploading videos, so that's why I used the illustration for the magazine. We also had a lot of news about the riots, so I wanted to leave those in bold letters on the top. And I just used some of the packaging from my insert just to indicate that this was the first day that I started using my new insert. And that's pretty much it. I just used some washi tapes with more like of a film type of theme to represent what I did the entire day. Was all involved about YouTube channel. And I'm gonna leave the layout as it is. I'm pretty much done with that first page there, and I'm gonna move on to June 2nd. And I don't know if you guys noticed here, but I have my cell phone on my far left, and the reason being, and you're gonna notice that I'll be picking my phone and going through my phone, and the reason is because I use the Notes app on my phone to keep up with my journaling. So if you don't know that about me, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before in another video, but I journal daily. That means that I journal about my daily life every day, and I like to keep a journal entry for every day of my life. But it would be impossible to me. I just don't have the time to sit down every night or every day and decorate my pages every day and write it down every day. So how I can keep up with my journaling is I have this note app. It's just the basic note app that comes with the iPhone. I'm pretty sure you have a version on your Android phone as well, or you can find a note app on the App Store. But pretty much what I do is like when I'm already in bed about to go to sleep, I sit down for a few minutes and I write it down a paragraph or two about what happened that day. And it makes it so much easier for me to do it that way, because it takes the pressure off of me trying to remember what happened that day a week later when I finally have time to decorate and write in my journal. I tried to do that before and I'll pull my hair off because I couldn't remember what happened a week ago, and it was just so frustrating. And that's the whole idea of me journaling. I wanted to journal so I could keep a record or an archive of everything that happened in my life, the good and the bad and everything. But it was just so hard to remember. Like my mind just doesn't work that way. I'm the type of a person that my memory is very selective. It just wants to remember what it thinks is important. And apparently, what I ate last week or where did I go, it's not important to my brain. so, so that's the only way, and that's the whole reason why I journal, because I wanted to remember things that happened in my life. So that's what I do. I keep up those notes, and it really helps me even to come up with the layouts, because reading really quick what happened that day, it gives me inspiration of what I am going to, decorate the layout with. So as an example, this day here, I had a severe allergy attack. I had to take my meds and I was very sleepy. I had to go to bed. I slept the whole afternoon, which is very unusual for me, but it happens sometimes. And I found this illustration in this magazine with this girl sleeping in the chair, and I thought was so suitable. I wish I knew the name of the artist so I could give it credit to it, but I don't know. The magazine didn't have any indication of who the artist was, but it was a lovely illustration, so I just fussy cut and used that, and that was a good representation of what happened that day. Now to this next layout here, this was June 3rd. I think this was a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. There was really nothing special in particular about this day. I spent most of my day editing and recording videos for my YouTube channel. So I didn't want to make another layout like the June 1st layout with a lot of like camera and video, decoration items. So I decided, you know what, like I'm gonna do something completely different. And that's what I usually do if I don't have something that it really calls my attention on that day, that I can use it as inspiration to decorate my page. I'll then go ahead and do something different, something that has absolutely nothing to do and that I like it. I love vintage. I love like old vintage stuff, tags, old pages, and the mail, anything related to mail. So I just decided to take the opportunity and decorate this page like an old vintage page. So yeah, most of the items here that I'm using for this layout is from Tim Holtz. If you're curious about any of the stationery supplies that I'm using, most of it are listed in my hauls. So I have a playlist, so I'll link it above here on the screen so you can check it out later if you're interested. The only thing here that I don't have it from that haul is that Polaroid picture that has like this flower with the 03 number. That one I got from an Etsy shop called Notebook Archive. She is also on Instagram with the same name, and she has those lovely printables illustrations. And I got it from that shop, and I actually printed on those vintage looking paper that I got it on Amazon, and it came out so good. So I love to use those illustrations of hers to indicate the date for that day. So that's why I used it, that one. I know I'm using another tag with the number 3 right there on the far left. But I just wanted to use that one because I thought it worked so well together with the whole layout. Anyways, I'm putting everything together here, and I'm just gluing everything down, and I'm gonna move on in a second to the next layout. But yeah, and that's usually what I do. I just like to, give myself the freedom to work with different layouts and play around. I don't take too seriously the way that I journal, although my journal I consider as an archive. The reason why I journal is because I wanted to remember things, and very often I do need sometimes to go back because I wanted to remember something that happened, and I can go, exactly on that page. And sometimes I don't even need to read what I wrote that day. Just looking at the layout, I can vividly remember everything that happened that day, and that's the beauty about journaling. And I hope I can make a use of my journal someday when I'm old and I have kids or grandkids. They can use that as a way to read about their mother or grandmother past, and I kind of understand a little bit where I came from, and how I lived in my time. So I don't know. I just find it so interesting, those things. I wish my mother or my grandmother had kept journals of their days and their experiences. I would love to read back to those, but anyways, moving on. So that's why I like to use the notes in my phone, because one, I can tell exactly how I'm gonna be decorating the page, because some days I have a lot to write about and some days I just have one paragraph, summarize the day, and that's about it. So I know I can come up with a layout with more items on it and fill it up with a lot of decoration. And some days I know I'm gonna have to maybe add an extra page or add it in an envelope, so I can add some extra writing to the layout, or even made a tip in so I have extra space. So it gives me more, of an idea of how am I supposed to be decorating that. Plus I know exactly what happened that day. I don't have to be trying to come up with some memory on the back of my head of what happened that day. I can just quickly read, and I write it back on my journal exactly what I wrote in my note app. I don't usually edit anything that I wrote. It's exactly the same thing. I want to keep the same thoughts and everything. So it's very helpful. If you don't have time to journal but you wanted to keep a daily journal, I highly, highly recommend to do that every night before you go into bed, just to write it down on your notes app. You always have your phone with you. And then whenever you have some time to sit down and actually journal and decorate, you can just, reference back to the note app. And let me tell you, it really lifts the pressure off your shoulders when you do that, because trying to come up with my memory, I cannot. I just can't rely on my memory. My memory is horrible. It's just like it doesn't work like that. But anyways, so this day here, this was June 4th. Was another day that I didn't have a lot going on. It was nothing like, was not a crazy theme happening. The only really thing that was very meaningful that happened this day was like I hit like 50 followers that day. So I wanted to somehow, keep a, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but, show on that page, on the layout somehow, that I hit the 50 followers on my YouTube, which was mind-blowing to me, especially considering how young my YouTube channel is. And so that's why I'm using that tag that says 50 cents, is just to represent my my 50 followers. And because I didn't have a lot else going on that day, it was just another day full of like videoing, what I'm saying it's not even a word, filming and recording, just video related type of days. So I just decided to go with a more floral theme, and decided to use one of my dolls that I got it from these sticker pad from Michaels, and I have that as well in my haul video, so if you want to check that out. But yeah, so not a lot of like I say, not a lot related to the day itself, but that's what I like it. Like sometimes not necessarily all of my layouts has to do exactly with what happened that day. Sometimes it's just, it doesn't work that way. We have some days they're just really boring, there's nothing really going on that serious, and then that's okay. I use those days as an outlet to use my creative side, and play around, play with different items and different layouts that I really love and I don't get to do often because they don't necessarily match with the daily life themes. So yeah, especially like vintage and florals and dolls layouts, usually those are not very typical on my layouts because it's not every day that I get the opportunity to have those in my layouts because, you know, I cannot even match with what happened that day with those items. So does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I'm rambling a lot this video. I'm so sorry guys if you don't like rambling videos. You can just mute me and just watch the process. And I know this is quite a long video and I'm very sorry, but I don't know, I just thought that maybe, you know, this would be more useful to you guys than just having a slower video with just one layout. I don't know, leave in the comments down below what do you guys prefer. Do you like this type of video that you get to see several different layouts so you can get more of an idea of different ways that I journal and you can grab some inspiration from some of the layouts that you like? I don't know. Let me know down below what you like. This day here was a Friday. We have friends over. We always have friends over on the weekends. We live in this very nice mountain town, so we often have friends coming over to stay with us for the weekend, which me and my boyfriend, we love it. So this day we just had some pizza. So really nothing else happened. So my whole layout was based on the pizza place sticker. So it was like a black and red and white sticker. So I just decided to decorate the whole page with that. And I went with it and it turned out okay. I like to think so, at least. You tell me in the comments what do you think about the layout. But yeah, I usually don't take too serious my journal, guys. Because I journal every day, I just find it that, you know, if I don't like a layout this day, that's fine. Next day I have another, you know, clean canvas that I can work with and that's it. I'm moving on already. It's like, you know, I get to decorate 30 pages throughout the month plus my planner part of the journal. I'm not that picky about having some layouts. They are not my greatest layouts. I try to, you know, to use my journal as in a fun place. It is in a, you know, creative outlet for me. I just consider my journal not only as an archive, but also as a creative outlet. And I always enjoy journaling. My entire life I journal. As far as I can remember, I was like, I don't know, 10, 12 years old. And I remember already owning journals and writing about my daily life, which is so crazy. But the truth is I truly am passionate about journaling. And I never wanted to take away from me the, you know, the joy of journaling. It's just such a fun outlet for me, and like I said, like I get to be creative. I'm an artist. If you don't know, I do a lot of illustrations and paintings, and it's just a different outlet. It's different than doing an oil painting that demands so much time and effort of me, or an illustration that you have to be perfect with the lines. With my journal, I get to play, I get to make mistakes and cover. You know, I don't need to be too serious about it. I think that's why I love journaling so much. And I mean, although it's a serious part of my life, because it's like it's documenting my life, is my creative outlet as well. And I just have fun with every layout. I get to create a whole new, you know, canvas with different items. It's a different story every day. It's just, I love it. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Moving on. So this day here, this was on Saturday. I spent most of my day working on my pen pal letters, and one of my pen pal letters theme, and I recorded a video, so it's probably gonna come out sometime this week, hopefully. And I hope you guys like the pen pal videos too. Let me know if you guys are into that or not. But I love the layout. I use different items that I'm not usually used to it, like lots of pinks and browns and white and floral and dolls. I'm just not used to that. I'm not that girly type of girl, if that makes sense. I'm not into pink. I'm not into blue. I'm not into a lot of floral. I'm a very basic person. I like, earthy tones and more like the more neutral colors. My favorite color is black, brown, white. So for me to come up with things like that is just so out of my style. But I love this so much, and I just decided to represent this day with kind of like the same items that I used to decorate her envelope, because technically it is part of the day. That's what I did at some point in the day. So yeah, so I used the same washi tapes, the same scrap papers, the same stickers and everything, and I think it turned out actually pretty good. I didn't need a lot of writing space for that day because I took a look at my notes and I just had one paragraph written for that day, so it was pretty easy to just decorate the entire page. And yeah, moving on. All right, we got to the last day. This is June 7th. I'm just using one of Tim Holt's cards to decorate the page. I'm gonna glue down this bigger portion, and the other one I'm just gonna use it as a flip, just so I can have some writing underneath and maybe added some stats for my channel for that day on that tag right there on the other side. And the illustration that you're seeing, it's from an anime. I think it's a manga. I don't know. Please don't hate me. I'm just not that crazy into manga as my boyfriend is, but he bought those books a couple of weeks ago, and this illustration came with the packaging, and he was going to throw it out, and I was like, no, don't throw it out, give me, I'll keep it, I'll put it in my journal. And I hold on to the illustration for a couple of weeks because I couldn't find a layout that would make any sense to have that, the anime illustration. But it came the day we just started, me and my boyfriend, watching a new anime show, and we've been watching quite a bit of animes lately, so I just thought it worked for this layout. It was a chill day. I recorded a lot, and we finished the day off with watching some anime, so I thought this was a fitting layout, and I really liked how it turned out. Like, I'll never think that mixing vintage floral butterflies and anime would look good, but I really liked it. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it up close so you guys can see every single layout that we created today. Hopefully you can gather some inspiration from some of those layouts. I know some of them are not everybody's cup of tea, but I hope some of them can bring you some inspiration and you can use it to inspire you to create something this week. All right, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet and you like videos like that, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video. Thank you, bye. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.